Hey there, welcome to my Achieve Even More show every Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about finishing the year off strong. Can you finish off the year strong? Let me know what your thoughts are. It's been a wild, crazy 9 months, right? If you agree that it's been a wild, crazy 9 months, hit the like or the love button. Let me know that you agree with me. How do you finish the year off strong? And how do you set yourself up for an amazing 2021? Right, I've got a couple of things I want to share with you that I think can make a huge difference for you. And for many people, it's been a really challenging year. And the question is, what are you going to do about it? Hello, tell me where you're from, just so I can see all of the amazing comments. Where are you from? Let me know where you're from. Are you prepared to finish the year off strong? Do you have a plan in place to finish the year off strong? Hi there, Kelly. Hi there, F-Man, François, bonjour, hello, Amit, hello. A lot of what I'm doing with, with my team, with my two sons, with my wife is reflection first, right? So how do you finish the year off strong? And hi there from Stuttgart, Germany, and from Vermont and London. All right, hi there from India. And hey there, Jonathan Gibson, nice to see you on. Hi there, Debbie. So the discussion is finishing the year off strong. How do you think you should finish the year off strong? What do you think are a couple of tips to finish the year off strong? Hi, Charol and Diego from Ecuador. I love seeing where you're all from. So if you can hear me and see me well, just hit the like or the love button and tell me where you're from, and we'll get this rolling. And I'm going to give you a couple of things that are critical to do if you really want to. Can I get my brain? If you really want to get your brain to help you achieve your goals and dreams. Here's a question I want to ask you first. All right. Do you think it's possible to make up whatever you didn't achieve in the first 9 months? Do you think it's possible to really take off in the next, let's say, 100 days from right now, so you finish the year off really strong? A lot of times people, in the fourth quarter, they slow down. I actually like to pick up the pace in the fourth quarter. And so how do you do that? Anybody have any ideas? Right? First, do you believe it's possible? And then anybody have any ideas? Hi there, Karen from Sudbury. Hey, Bishnu, nice to see you from London. And yes, it's possible. Almost all of you think it's possible. So let me share with you a few things that I do to finish the year off strong. And I do this with my personal life, right? So my health, and when I think about my health, I think about my spiritual health, emotional health, mental health, physical health, and financial health and well-being. So I look at those 5 areas. And then I look at my relationships. I look at my career or business. I look at charity. I look at every area of my life: health, wealth, relationships, career, business, charities, fun, and experiences. Now, this year, like many other people, I haven't been able to travel as much as I normally do. I usually travel 3 months a year. This year I haven't been able to. So I'm way off of my happy travel time. But let me share with you what I do first, okay? And if you're ready for that, let me know. Give me a like or a love here, and I will start. So number 1 is it's what I call the rear view awareness exercise. It's called rear view awareness exercise. Can somebody type that in for me? Rear view awareness exercise. What's the rear view awareness exercise? Imagine you're driving your car, and you got your rear view mirror, right? You take a look at what's behind you. So I want to take a little bit of time. Hey there, Evan, how you doing, buddy? I want to take some time to see the year and review it. So when I review the year, it's really important that you do this one thing. It's actually a combination of more than one thing, okay? It's when you do the rear view mirror exercise, you have to do it without judgment, blame, shame, guilt, or justification. Somebody write that down. Without judgment, blame, shame, guilt, or justification. Why? Thank you, Evan, for writing that down. So why do you do it without judgment, blame, shame, guilt, or justification? Let's have a little dialogue right now. Why is it important when you're looking at your past, what you did or didn't do, what worked or didn't work? Why is it critical that you do this without judgment, blame, shame, guilt, or justification? Anybody tell me? This is audience participation time. Audience participation time. And as you type in, okay, as you type in your answers without judgment, blame, shame, guilt, or justification, I'll share with you the answer. Because it makes no sense to label the past when you're looking for heightened awareness. Awareness is what gives you choice, and choice is what gives you freedom. And the more you can see patterns of what you did or didn't do, what you felt or didn't feel, what you achieved or didn't achieve, and you're able to do it in a non-judgmental state, in a in a state that doesn't disempower you. A lot of times people will judge themselves and they'll disempower themselves, which sets up a destructive pattern. What if you can look at the past? If you want to know the definition of a miracle, take from the past the experiences, what worked and what didn't work, and bring it to now and use it. So when you look in the rear view mirror, and I like to do this in writing, I don't just sit there and think about it. I ask myself, okay, in the areas of my life, health, wealth, relationships, career, business, charity, fun, and experiences, those are the 7 areas that I track. What worked? What didn't? Why? What did I do? What didn't I do that I should have? What can I do better in the future? So when we are looking at things from a simple state of awareness without the judgment, blame, shame, guilt, or justification, now we have a heightened state of awareness, and it's in the awareness that we can start to shift. If we blame ourselves, right, then we're saying, you know, you didn't do what you need to do, which is a destructive pattern that you're going to reinforce. If we try to justify, right now we're making excuses. So what we want to do whenever we are evaluating in the rear view mirror, we want to use our past as a guiding post, not a hitching post. And Erica, it's health, wealth, relationships, career, business, charity, fun, and experiences. Health, wealth, career, business, charity, fun, and experiences. All right, so when we are looking at the past, it's as a guiding post to help us determine what the future is. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you have the destination that you have agreed you want to achieve or be at by the end of the year for each one of those areas? Do you have, in written form? I have it in my Exceptional Life Blueprint for health, wealth, relationships, career, business, charity, fun, and experience. I have everything written down of where I'm going to be by the end of this year, so I can always check and balance. Am I on track, off track? Do you have the end game written out? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question, all right? So if you have the objective, of where you want to end up in every one of those areas, then here is my question for you. In the next 100 days, do you have a plan for making sure that you get there? Right? Because now what we want to do is we want to look at the road ahead of us. So in the last exercise, we have the rear view mirror, and now we want to have the destination. If you were the captain of a ship or the captain of an airplane, would you not have to have the destination in order to move your vessel towards that, whether it's a ship, a yacht, a catamaran, or an airplane? You have to have the destination going. And why do you want to have that? Well, number one is your brain works beautifully when you can give it a time-bound destination, a time-bound goal. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to back up for just a moment here. Is it true that in September 2020, right now, the end of September 2020, is it true that every single goal that you and I want to achieve, every goal, whether it's a health goal, relationship goal, career goal, financial goal, business goal, charitable goal, fun and experience, every goal, we already know, somebody already knows how to achieve it? Is that true? Is that true that the how to achieve already exists? Is that true? Let me know. Just type in, yes, John, that is true. Or if you don't believe that's true. Now, I'm not asking you is, do you know how to achieve that goal? But is it true that every single goal that you want to achieve, the how to achieve it already exists? Okay, it exists either in a book, a coach may have it, a mentor may have it, a course may have it, the library may have it, Google may have it, YouTube may have it. Is it true that the how-to already exists? If it's true that the how-to already exists, then your problem is not the how-to, because you could, in moments, hours, or days, find out exactly how to achieve your goal. Now, if you don't have the objective, the goal for where you will arrive by the end of the year, by the end of October, by the end of November, by the end of December, if you don't have that vision and that goal, and then if you don't go and find out exactly how to achieve it, what do you think the chances are of you achieving it? That would be like you getting into a plane, you're the pilot, and you just go with a certain amount of fuel, and then you don't know where you're going. You haven't charted a course for how you're going to get from point A to point B. And what I've discovered with most people is they have the vision, but they don't have the how-to. Not because the how-to is not available. They have been cognitively lazy to plan how to achieve that goal. And in previous trainings that I've done on Tuesday morning here on Instagram and Facebook Live on my fan page, I've said PPP equals PPP. Does anybody remember that's been here before with me? PPP equals PPP. Somebody type that out. PPP equals PPP. Hi Flavia, hi Ruth, hi Erica, hi Angela, hi Sandy. Hi there, lady in love, right? What is PPP equals PPP? PPP equals PPP. Piss poor planning equals piss poor performance. Piss poor planning equals piss poor performance. And most people don't enjoy planning. And the question is, why not? And the answer is disappointment avoidance is number one on the list, and fear of failure is number two on the list. So you don't want to disappoint yourself, so you don't create the goal, you don't sign off on that goal, you don't create the plan just in case you don't achieve it. You don't have to deal with the embarrassment, the shame, the guilt, the justification. Now, every high achiever has to be willing to fail. Every high achiever has to be willing to miss the mark. Every high achiever, okay, has to be willing to be wrong. Every high achiever has to be willing to be embarrassed if they consider that to be embarrassed. And so you have to work on the inner game. All right, you have to work on the inner game to be able to help you achieve your goals and dreams, right? Because the how-to already exists. Every goal you want to achieve, the how-to already exists, right? I write how to grow a business in my book, The Answer, how to achieve any goal you want in my other New York Times best-selling book, Having It All, how to master your mindset and your brain in my best-selling book, Inner Sight. So all the how-to exists in my books and other people's books, in videos all over the internet, in coaches, in experts. And so here's my question for you. Number one, are you able to look in the rearview mirror and be honest with yourself of what's working and what's not working? Are you prepared to do that? Because unless you're prepared to be radically honest with yourself and look in the mirror and say, I'm responsible, and without judgment, blame, shame, guilt, or justification, I'm responsible. I am responsible for my life. I'm responsible for taking action or not, for planning or not, for doing what it takes or not, for breaking the habits that don't serve me, creating new ones that will. I'm responsible for eliminating my limiting beliefs that are holding me back, or my self-esteem issues that are holding me back, or my fears that are holding me back. I'm responsible. Now, once you're responsible, if the how-to already exists, you're a million miles ahead of not being responsible and not taking this seriously. Right? So all the how-to is available. So rear view mirror exercise is number 1. And then front view focus is number 2. And with the front view focus, you start off with the vision by the end of the year. You start off with the goals, okay, by the end of December, by the end of November, by the end of October. And then you create the plan for the next 7 days. The plan for the next 7 days. If you just want to work it 7 days at a time, that's perfect. How many of you have a plan for the next 7 days for your health? How many of you have a plan for the next 7 days for earning more money? How many of you have a plan for the next 7 days to getting out of debt? How many of you have a plan for the next 7 days to make sure your relationship with your significant other, your children, your brother, your sister, your mother or father is great, or your employees or your coworkers? How many of you have a plan in place, okay, for your business and its growth, or for whatever you want? Do you have a plan in place? Are you working off of a plan, or are you getting into your boat and allowing the winds to take the sails wherever it goes? Right? So Flavia, you know, when I hear I need to get out of debt, the universe doesn't care about your need. The universe is focusing on what's your seed. What are you bringing to the table? So Francoise, you have a deadline, but do you have a plan? Right? A deadline or a plan, a deadline without a plan is hoping and praying, right? So how many of you, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Rear view mirror exercise and front view planning. Front view direction and planning. Whenever you are looking at using your brain well, your brain wants to know, what do you want to achieve? When do you want to achieve it by? When are you going to achieve it? How are you going to achieve it? And what help, tools, or resources do you need? Do you get that? What do you want to achieve? When you're going to achieve it by? Why you must achieve it? How you're going to achieve it? And what help, tools, or resources do you need? Give your brain those 5 things, not 3 of them, 5 things, and you're going to create neural coherence. You're going to create neural harmony. You're going to create, a brain in flow. And when you connect your brain, your heart, and your gut, and you create synchronicity between that, that's when behavior is effort less, stress less, versus effort more and stress more. Does that make sense, right? Does that make sense? And Rodrigo Tour says, what about the law of attraction? Get in coherence, that's when the law of attraction starts to work. And if you're out of coherence, you're out of harmony, right? Does that make sense? Thank you, Kimberly Mead. How to make a plan. Masulo, if you wanted to lose weight in the next month, what are 3 things that you could do today? That's how you make a plan, then go and do them. All right, anybody have any questions? I've got 5 or 6 minutes for some questions. All right, we got 5 or 6 minutes for some questions. Thank you, lady in love, I appreciate it. You want coherence, then create coherence. Think about this for just a moment. You want to understand coherence. If you were listening to a radio station, let's say there's jazz or rock and roll or punk rock or classical music, all right, and you want to listen to one of those stations. If you are right on the station, the receiver in the radio taps into the radio frequency that's in the room and you have a clear signal, right? There's coherence. It's effortless. But if you're just a little bit off, okay, if you're just a little bit off of the station, there's noise, there's hissing, there's static, right? So when we're dealing with static, we need to clear the static and get into coherence and harmony. And that takes a little bit of practice, right? So Anu says, how do you make better decisions? Well, there are four types of decisions, Anil, to make. And there are irreversible decisions that are consequential. There are irreversible decisions that are non-consequential. And then there's the polar opposite of reversible decisions that are consequential and reversible decisions that are inconsequential. So you make decisions by determining, what it is that you want, right? What is it that you want to achieve? And then you go this or that, this or that, this or that, this or that. You do a practice of comparing this or that, and you make decisions based on either what you feel is the best decision or by asking for help from experts so you know what to do instead of trying to figure it out yourself. So Erica is asking, can you explain your term cognitively lazy again? What does it mean? Okay. So do you know why most people don't solve the Rubik's Cube? Why do most people not solve the Rubik's Cube? And that is because it takes a lot of brain power to either solve it on your own, which is very, very, very hard. But even if you want to learn the algorithms, your brain's going to work against you because the third hierarchy of how the brain works is conservation of energy. So anything that requires mental focus and attention and problem solving, okay, and learning something new gets harder and harder as we get older because our brain's trying to conserve energy. And so cognitively lazy means that you're not willing to challenge yourself and to go past your current comfort zones in order to solve a problem or to get better at something, to learn a new skill, right? Planning is a skill. Reviewing your days is a skill. Developing new self-disciplines and habits is a skill that you can learn. And most people would prefer to master disappointment instead of mastering change. Master disappointment means even though you may be miserable or you may be comfortable in your current results and environment, okay, you don't want to master change because it requires effort and energy. And our brain wants to conserve energy. So our brain's number one responsibility is survival above all else, avoidance of pain or discomfort, energy conservation, then to gain pleasure or comforts, new comforts. So when we are challenged, most people don't want to be challenged. They want to come up to events like this and get a little dose of dopamine to feel like they're doing something, and then they revert back to all their old behaviors, right? Change requires effort, and our brain doesn't want us to put in effort. So we have to consciously and deliberately override our brain's desire to stay the same, right? The only human that likes change is a wet baby. The only human that likes change is a wet baby. And that's why you want to be able to retrain your brain. You want to upgrade your beliefs, your knowledge, your skills, and your habits at the same time. And that's the way you do this. All right, so do you have some great ideas for how you're going to finish the next quarter of 2020 strong? Do you have ideas? Did I give you what you came here for? I try to keep these about 25 minutes, 30 minutes every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock New York time.